This is the Wacky Rig, one of the best baits for bass fishing in the summertime, and today I'm going to be showing you exactly why you should be throwing it.
What is up, guys? Welcome to this scorching evening. It is 86 degrees here in Michigan, which I know you guys down south is probably not too hot, but for Michigan, that is a very warm day. And honestly, it's been like this the past couple days. So with that being said, the water temps have heated all the way up into almost the 80s, which again is very hot here. And the fishing has been very tough. Now, what happens when the fishing is very tough? You have to hit them finesse. And today we are going to be throwing the Wacky Rig Senko, one of the best finesse baits out there, the skunk buster of all skunk busters. And we are going to be throwing them up shallow, under boats, under docks, wherever there's shade. We are going to be throwing that Wacky Rig up there and trying to get a finesse bite. Now, one of the best things about this technique is anyone can do it, whether you're on a boat, kayak, on the bank. It's for every single person and it applies everywhere around the country, from Michigan all the way down south. It is a great technique. Now, we are out here and we are going to head over to our first spot of the day and hopefully get on a finesse bite.
There we go. First cast. Oh my gosh, it's a big one. It's a big one, you guys. First cast right up next to that dock. Oh, come up here. Check out that donkey. See, you don't need big baits or fancy baits to catch them. Probably a 2.5 pounder right there, right off that little dock. See ya. And there he goes. Well, that first cast right off that dock, as you guys can see, it's pretty shallow here. There are a ton of weeds that come right up to the surface, and that bass was just hanging out right in there. But see, you guys do not need fancy or expensive baits at all. All you guys need is a cheap little wacky worm and a wacky worm hook. And this right here, this is a $20 reel on like a $40 rod. We're going ultra cheap, ultra light, and just out here catching fish when it's hot. The water temperatures right now are 77. Now that is very freaking hot for Michigan. These bass are not used to that. So, you know, it might be tough to get a bite, but so far we caught that big one. I wish I would have put that on a scale, because honestly I'm thinking that was probably close to 2.5 pounds. But like, we're coming right up here, like I said earlier, we're just going to be focusing on hitting, you know, boats, docks, and everywhere else that might consider, you know, or have shade. There we go. There's a fish. Not a bad one. Not a bad freaking fish. That's 2 in a row. Oh my goodness. Get him up here. Get up here. Get him up here. Get up here, buddy. Gotcha. Check out that stud. That's 2 absolute tanks in a row. Probably a little bit smaller than the first one, but dang, not a bad fish. See ya. That makes 2. Kind of just casting again right along these docks, and he came out and pounded that. For a, honestly, if we were doing a weight limit, we probably have a 4-pound bag, maybe a little over, and 2 fish. That's not too bad. There we go, there's something. Little guy, huh? Little compared to what we have been catching. Let's get him up here. Of course he threw our worm too. Whoa, come on, man. Whoa, Check out this little dink. Probably a 10-incher, but there he goes. Came kind of right off this little boat, a little bit to the left, and man, they're crushing the Senko tonight. One little customization you guys can make to your Senko is you can add a nail weight to either side of it, and what that basically does is it helps it fall a little bit faster. So if you guys are fishing more deeper water, or honestly if you just want your bait to get down a little bit farther, add a nail weight to one of the sides, and it's also going to have it flutter a little bit more crooked down. So I don't know, it kind of just gives a little bit better action, I find. I'm not using a nail weight right now because I'm fishing more shallow water, but if I was fishing, you know, 8 to 10 foot plus, I definitely would add a nail weight to the wacky rig, just to give it a little bit more life and obviously sink a little bit faster. But so far, just those 3 in the boat. 2 really nice ones, 1 not so nice, but definitely good to get it in the boat. Obviously right now with the bite being so tough, I'll take any single bite, whether it's a 5-pounder or a 1-pounder that I can get. We're gonna head right up to these this pontoon and jet ski, fish this area a little bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and go to the other side of the lake where there is more shade. So hopefully maybe some of these fish will get to come out and bite. Well, it definitely is a lot shadier, but it's also pretty windy over here. But maybe we're gonna get a bite over here in the wind. Might have to throw on one of those nail weights I was talking about earlier, just to go ahead and get, you know, the Senko down fast enough before it just keeps blowing and blowing and blowing. But I guess it looks like we got a little calm pocket up here. And then my goal is probably to fish up until that swim tramp, and then we'll probably find a new spot, because once you get past that swim tramp, it's about 20 foot deep and pretty weedy. So not the most ideal Senko conditions out there for sure. But like I said, we're gonna go ahead, fish a lake across this intercoastal. Hopefully the wind dies down a little bit, and hopefully we catch ourselves a big one. There we go. What do we got? Oh yeah. Nice one. Well, not too nice, but. All right, ready? Boat flip. Here we go. Back on a decent little column. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Man, that might be a little bright. Let me turn you guys around. Pop the hook out. Beautiful little guy. See ya. And there you guys go. Fish 4, 5. I caught a couple little ones, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna throw them in the video or not, because they were like 10 inches. But nonetheless, there is a decent fish. Whoa, little guy, little smallie, huh? Calm down, buddy. Beautiful little guy. Perfect release. There we go. Come here, buddy. absolutely inhaled it. Look at that. Straight down the hatch. Pop them off, and there you go. Is this a fish? Yes, it is. Feels like a decent one. All right, come on. Don't shake the worm. I'm running out of worms. Get up here. Yes, sir. Went ahead, switched on up to this green pumpkin color Senko. Just throwing something a little bit different. You know, I don't want to throw black and blue the whole day, but there you go. Not a giant at all, but that's about what you expect, especially like I said earlier, when the bite is super tough. You'll take what you can get. You know, this is the last spot of the day. There's only about 30-ish minutes of daylight left, so we're kind of just gonna head right up here. The sun is setting to our back, so all this area should be in the shade, well, except to the left. But yeah, like I said, not too big of a fish, but when the bite is so brutal like it has been, I'll take anything. Like I said, whether it's a 5-pounder or a 1-pounder, a fish is a fish, and it's gonna be fun to catch regardless. Now, there are plenty of different baits that you guys could throw for these finesse bites, whether it's a Ned rig or a drop shot or whatever, or like a weightless fluke. You know, there are plenty of different baits that you guys could always be throwing. I just picked the Senko and the wacky worm because honestly, I think it's probably the most well-known and the classic, and it is something that every single person pretty much has in their tackle box ready to go at all times. You know, I don't know too many people who actively fish who don't have a pack of Senkos and a 1/0 hook, or, you know, a circle hook of some sort laying around. So like I said earlier, every single person can get out there, whether it's at a lake, stream, you know, river, pond, and start trying to catch some fish. There's something. Absolute dink. Get him in before we lose our worm. Hey, calm down. There's bait for tomorrow. Whoops. Get him on back. Now, the wacky rig is one of the best baits for pretty much every single beginner fisherman, because once you cast, I'd say 80% of the time you can see your line start to bolt and take off before you even set the hook. So it's a pretty good indication that you have one. And you know, it's super easy to get a hook set. If you have a circle hook, just reel down. And obviously if you have like a straight gap hook or something else, an EWG, you just have to set the hook pretty lightly, and that fish should be cemented into its mouth. So pretty much the wacky worm is just a great round bait. You know, professionals use it. If you're just casually fishing, use it. The bite's tough, you use it. I can't think of a better lure than the trusty wacky worm. Uh-oh. There we go. Can't tell how big it is because he's swimming right towards me. Okay. Dang, flew my Senko. There's this pounder. Let's see. Okay, that's more like it. Get up here. What a beautiful fish. Look at this. Oh, barely hooked. Popped right out. But dang, what a gorgeous, gorgeous fish. Got a little bit of a scar. Looks like something tried to get him. but this is a little bit too big for any fish in Mar Lake. See you, buddy. And there you have it. I think that is probably going to be it for today. We got that 1 pound bass I was hoping for. That's probably a little bit over a pound, to be honest, but it is getting dark, so I'm gonna head on home and then catch up with you guys once we get there. All right, you guys, just made it back for the night. You guys can see under the canopy, away from all that sun, well, what's left. But that was a success. Obviously, when the bite is tough, you are not going to catch the biggest bass. And you can say that honestly with a wacky rig anyway, right? Most people fish it either just to go out and have a good time and make sure they catch a lot. But you know, you're not gonna go ahead and catch that 5 pounder. I mean, you could get really lucky. I know people that have caught a PB on a wacky worm, but that wasn't today's goal, right? Today, I just wanted to get out there, try and get the skunk off our back. We ended up catching about 9 to 10 fish, probably a little bit more actually, but there's like 3 or 4, you know, ones that were like this big that I'm not gonna put in the video. But I just wanted to show you guys that no matter how hot it is, no matter where you're from, if you just go out there, throw a wacky worm around, excuse me, you guys can catch some fish. And that's what we did. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If there's any other baits that you guys want me to throw, you know, go ahead, leave a comment, and I will do my best to make a video. I love hearing from you guys, and I love chatting with you. But if you guys enjoyed the video, a like would be greatly appreciated. But until next time, I'll catch you guys later.